Hello, listeners. Welcome to another episode of our program, Strategic Implementation in Action on Amogate Radio Communication. I am Titilola Ogunsona. Today, we'll be discussing how to build effective teams for strategy implementation. Well, we know that a gap exists between strategy planning or initiative and strategy implementation. Once you have a strategy plan in place, how do you implement the strategy plan becomes important. So definitely that's a gap between that. And one of the tools that an organization can leverage on to achieve effective strategic implementation is teamwork. We'll be looking closely at teamwork. I would start with the definition of Wikipedia. Is the collaborative effort of a group to achieve a common goal or to complete a task in the most effective and efficient way. So, you look at teamwork. What role does it play in strategic implementation? It's very important. There could be various teams in a particular organization. You could have the strategic team, you could have the finance team, you could have the audit team, you could have the customer service team, you could have the marketing team in an organization, and they all must work together. Now, the question you can ask yourself, is it possible for you to have various teams in an organization and you do not have that teamwork among each team? Yes, it's possible. Okay, and if you don't have teamwork, it's going to hinder effective strategic implementation. Teamwork refers to a situation where people work together to achieve a common goal. Okay, no matter how brilliant your mind or strategy is, if you are playing a solo game, you will always lose out to a team. In the words of Reid Hoffman, it's very important. So it means that you cannot be a solo player in an organization when you talk about implementing strategic plan or the change agenda. Okay, and it said that effective teamwork, empowers an organization to achieve set goals efficiently. Now, the key word here is efficiently. You can achieve those goals, but how efficient were you with your resources in terms of speed of achievement, in terms of ease, and in terms of higher impact? And if you look at it in reality, the goals are shared, okay? But the tasks are individual. So no matter what you are trying to do, achieve as an organization, whatever the goal is, it will be shared among teams. But each team member has, a role to play, which is very important. It's very important. So let's even look at the benefits of teamwork. Why are we saying this is not a nice to have? Rather, teamwork is a must have for every organization. Why are we talking about teamwork? One of the benefits is it enhances effective communication flow. Now, when you want people to work together, they cannot work together effectively if you do not have efficient communication flow among team members in an organization. And it said that communication is the bedrock of teamwork. And what it does to you when you can communicate effectively is that it helps to build team synergy and camaraderie. Okay, it's important. What I mean by team synergy, team synergy is the fact that you look at a particular team, you're looking at a particular team that consists of diverse personalities, diverse nature. You have people with different skill sets, you have people with different experiences, yet you are going to bring them together to harmonize their strength to achieve a common goal. And team synergy is based on that idea that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Is very good. That the whole is greater than some of its parts. So it means that in a particular team, you can have someone with very, very great communication skills. You have someone with very high finance, all these skills, IT skills. So how are you going to harness all of these skills together in a team optimally to achieve your set goals, to achieve the change agenda, to achieve effective implementation of your strategy? Is important. It's important that in the workplace, you must create an effective workplace communication platform where team members can freely, I'll repeat it again, freely express themselves. Now, when people don't feel safe, when they don't feel secure, they will not want to express their ideas. So there must be a platform where people can, lend their voices, where people can say their opinions, where they can express their ideas. You must have it. Now, what do you do in order to enhance, in order to build that communication flow? I would say that for every organization, for you to leverage on teamwork, you must have a communication plan. Your communication plan should look at what do you want to communicate? How do you want to communicate in terms of the channels of communication? How the tone of communication, and even the channels of communication must be clear. And it's always important in having in your plan, your communication plan, that you must incorporate a two-way communication channel where not only can you put out the information, it's more important where you can listen, hear their views, their opinions, sometimes their critique on that information that you have put across. Is very important. So we have spoken about it, that why you need teamwork to build on that. Achieving teamwork among your team members is that it's going to enhance effective communication flow. Why do we need to build that in an organization? Okay, it helps to improve brainstorming skills, brainstorming session. I would say for more interactive brainstorming sessions. Now, when there's this synergy, we have people with different skill sets, you bring them together. It helps teams to think widely in an unrestricted manner. That means there is no box anymore. People will say think outside of the box. Also, there is no box anymore. You have to think. It enables them to think. People come up with their thoughts. On this change agenda, I want to implement this. What do you think the advantages are? What do you think the possible challenges could be? It enables you to think. And good teamwork reveals that your team members feel comfortable with sharing their thoughts and ideas. If indeed you have actually built an environment where the focus is on teamwork, people can express their ideas freely. I'm smiling because I remember once I had to consult an organization and we wanted to get their view on the subject matter, on the change initiative, and I brought together a particular team. They had a team. I said, okay, let me meet various teams, in your various units in the organization. I said, okay, let's brainstorm together. And lo and behold, the team lead was there, and I had about 15 people actually in that team, and I had just 2 people contribute. The remaining 13, that's exclusive of the team lead, get mom. I did everything to get words out of their mouth and all that. They said it was fine. The team lead came out with the idea, they said it was fine. So I could sense that out of 15 members of a particular team, we had just 2 people freely, expressing themselves. That was a red flag for me to show that spirit, team spirit, was not inherent in that particular team. Now, what I did was, okay, another brainstorming session where the team lead was not there. I brought other team leads, all the team leads together in another session, and team members outside of it, another session. And lo and behold, I was speaking with them, interacting with them, telling them the importance of you letting us know what it was. All 15 members were able to hear their views. So it means that once you don't have that teamwork, you don't work on it in an organization, is going to inhibit effective strategy implementation. Okay? And it's important that we have that teamwork because it encourages a common goal. It helps to get that spirit of ownership from everyone. They get committed to that goal. They get committed to the change agenda, and implementing such a change process now becomes easier, a lot easier. I won't say 100% easy, but it is a lot. It helps to eliminate or reduce failure rates. That's the truth. And again, when you encourage teamwork among your members, it helps to develop even individual problem-solving skills. Okay, it's a problem always arise from the workspace. Okay, and the truth is some projects could be difficult for you to solve as an individual. The difference between knowledge base and skills acquisition. Now you have gone to acquire the knowledge, but when you can apply the knowledge you have gathered over time through experiences, you acquire your skills. Okay, so when you work together, okay, as a team, it makes, offer more possible solutions to problems. And as an individual within that team, it becomes a learning process, learning pattern for you as an individual. And why we were talking about teamwork again one of the merits or advantages of teamwork that it helps to build trust. And we say that trust is not something that happens overnight. It's not something that happens. It's not immediately. It's not something that happens. It's not a one-off event. It's built over time. Okay, once the team members can trust each other, that will be a sense of belonging within the group. And your team members, once they believe that they can rely on you as a team lead, you can get that commitment. So it's important. Once people can work in a team, before they can work with you as a team, before you can get that teamwork, in your organization, you must ensure that people can trust you. And definitely, when people can trust you, it's going to improve employee engagement, where people are fully engaged, where people are committed to the implementation plan, where people are ready to go through that implementation process with you, where people are even ready to sacrifice, give it all it takes to ensure that the strategic implementation exercise is efficient and even seamless. And when people feel engaged, definitely it's going to motivate higher performing teams. People will continue to strive to work at the peak of performance. And I would say that even brings about healthy competition, not unhealthy competition. So each team is saying, look, we achieved 90% of our goal. Oh, this quarter we are striving to achieve 95% because another team achieved 93%. That's healthy competition. It fosters healthy competition among the team members. And in reality, what it does for you, when people see themselves as a team, when people see themselves as collaborators, when people see themselves as being important, they can trust the system. What it helps is that it even helps to develop individual strength. Okay? Now, while teamwork helps to achieve success in terms of strategy implementation, in terms of achieving the stated goal, what you should understand is that it also helps to support individual development. Like I talked about earlier, team synergy. People have different strengths, they have different natures, they have different personalities, they have different backgrounds, they have different academic qualifications, they have different levels of experiences, levels of expertise. So when you bring them together in a team, they can continue to develop, play to their strengths. And when they play to their strength, it enables them to work at the peak of performance, and that will impact the overall goal or productivity level of the organization. Okay, if you are just joining us, thank you so much for joining. Today we are discussing how to build effective teams for strategy implementation. And what I'm speaking to right now at this point is speaking about the benefits of teamwork. Why is there an emphasis on discussion around teamwork? And we have said a whole lot, and we said last and not the least is that it helps to develop individual strengths. Let's look at it more critically. Now that we know the importance of teamwork, now that we know that it's important for your people to bond together, how do you then build effective teams? Now, I will start with this. How do I even encourage or establish team bonding among my team members? So for your team to be very effective, it needs to be built on team spirit. And I would say that a team whose team spirit is on the right wavelength will coordinate activities or tasks better in a more efficient manner. Now, people, yes, we talked about teamwork, but what is that driving force that enables teamwork to be prevalent? I would say the first one is how to you build that team bonding, and I'll be talking about team spirit. Okay, now, is it possible for us to have a particular team and you do not have that team spirit? When the focus is not on us achieving, playing on our strengths, enjoying that team, seeing the goal as our goal, and working together in peace, love, and harmony. Okay, now let's look at it more critically. I would say that your team spirit is built on key elements, some few key elements: trust, safety, and appreciation. Now, building that team spirit, building that bonding among your team members is important, because if we are going to build effective teams for strategic implementation, you must ensure that there's teamwork in your teams. Members are working together as a team, because work won't be done only it's not structured in silos. Okay, you must ensure this. Now, what role does trust have to play? Trust allows people feel safe and secure to express their feelings, concerns, and opinion. That's the truth. When people can trust you, when people know that you care about them, they are then free to express themselves. Now, am I saying that there won't be mistakes? That's why we talk about you building a fail-safe environment. You must ask yourself, in implementing this change in this particular thing, what allowance will I give to mistakes being made? So you find a way, why we not, I'm not saying let them make mistakes that will have a very high negative impact on the organization, but in reality, create that feel-safe environment for them where they feel secure. People must be sure that they can hear their views without any alter of fear or being victimized. Okay, it's important. Now, they must feel safe. They can trust you. When people feel safe, then they can trust you. When they know that they will not be victimized, they can trust you. Now, your team members, again, they want to feel appreciated. It's not all about money. Some people, it's not about the cash. There are different ways. In fact, grateful gestures goes a long way. I'm telling you, the simple compliment that we take for granted. Oh, thank you so much. You look stressed today. Are you okay? Thank you. God bless you. Oh, thank you. And even if you don't want to take that aspect of the God bless you with it, but thank you. I do appreciate it. I appreciate your effort. All of those things, people want simple compliment, as simple as those few letters, few words. Thank you goes a long way. And people want you to give constructive feedback, even when they have not done it right. I call it the sandwich approach. You handle a sandwich, you have the bread, the flour on top, we have the egg, whatever you put inside, the cucumbers, the garbages, inside of the bread. And you also have, the flour or the bread, closing it up. Now, what I'm saying is find a way to correct in a way that the person you are correcting, your team member, does not feel condemned. Okay? They find a way that they do not feel you trampling on that self-dignity, all in the name of correction. It's important. You must give feedback in a constructive manner. And I've always said that another thing you should do is what I call empathetic listening. When they are talking to you, when there are issues, let them see that you are truly concerned. Always put yourself in their shoes. Okay? There are two sides to a table. There are two sides to a coin. Don't always sit at the particular side. No, go back to where they are sitting. Put yourself in their shoes. Put yourself on their seat and listen to them from that end. I'm not saying that when people have not done it right. I'm not saying that you should just bootlick. I'm not saying that give false praises. No, I'm saying that I've not done it right. Find the best approach to correct them. You can start what they have gotten right. Not that, you have ruined it all. No. Why don't you start with, thank you for taking our time to complete this task. I like the fact that you met up with the deadline. I also find it commendable that you could put in this new idea that did not give to you earlier on. Okay? The person is smiling, he's relaxed. However, I think you should have done this better. He's relaxed. He or she doesn't get defensive. So he's better. Now, have you ever walked, let me ask you this question. Have you ever walked into a place and you sense that atmosphere? You sense an atmosphere where everything is calm, where people are happy, where the atmosphere is cheerful. We all talk about culture. There's always a culture, even within a culture. Have you ever gone to a particular team in an organization and you find everywhere peaceful, jovial, where people are committed and there's so much joy in the air? And you move into another team and you find everywhere hostile. Now, what I'm saying is that the same way the answer is a yes, and you find another plan, the answer too is a yes, then it brings me to my point that I'm going to say right now, that good team spirit can be seen, heard, and felt. Good teams can be seen, heard, and felt. It means that team spirit and organization permeate through the atmosphere, so that it can be seen, felt by outsiders. So the same way you walk into an environment, into an organization, an establishment, and you sense that, you feel that sense of togetherness, the sense of collaboration, is the same way people feel about your organization or your team when they come there. So you must make sure, okay, that you ensure that you have that good team spirit. Because whether you like it or not, it's not something that can be hidden. If you walk into an establishment, you can actually feel it, or you see it, or you hear it of the utterances. Okay? Okay, so let's look at what are the various ways in which we can encourage team spirit in the work environment. Still talking about the steps of building effective team, and I spoke about team spirit, the key elements, trust, safety, and appreciation. Now we are moving to what are the ways to encourage team spirit in the work environment. Well, we'll take a break right now. We'll be back shortly. Okay, thank you so much for staying tuned. We'll continue on ways to encourage team spirit in the work environment. The first one I'm going to mention is that we must ensure that all members of the team understand and believe in the goal. I cannot put in my best in a program that I don't understand, and even I cannot even give my best into something I'm not even aware of. I can't give my best into something I do not believe in. So the first thing you have to do as a team lead is to ensure, or a team leader, to ensure that every team member understand the purpose of the change initiative. They must understand what is in it for them. They must understand why they need to buy in to your change initiative. So that's the first point. That's the starting point. If they do not understand the common goal, if they do not see that goal as shared goal, as our own goal, as only that goal, then change initiative becomes dead on arrival. So it means that you should not even think of strategic implementation. That gap would widen. Like I said earlier on, from strategic initiative or plan or agenda to strategy in implementation, there's a gap. And one of the tools you can use to bridge that gap is teamwork. So it means that if you don't have that team spirit within your team, if there's nothing like teamwork, you only have teams and not teamwork, prevailing in those teams, the gap would widen. Okay, so the first thing is they must understand, believe in the goal, get their buy-in. Now the second thing is which also leads onto the first, is you must understand, have a communication plan, effective communication plan. And the question you ask is, what is the level of communication flow among your team members? Is communication flow among the team members effective? How effective is your present communication flow? So it means that if the present communication channel, the flow plan, would not enhance, would not help you achieve your strategic implementation goal, objectives, as the case may be, then you need to revisit your communication plan. You need to go back to your communication channels. You need to go back to how you communicate, your tone. You need to go back to all of those things. Is very important. You must check how you communicate. Like I said earlier on, communication is the bedrock of teamwork. You do not communicate, so you need to decide, deliberate, strategic about your communication flow process in your organization. Now, another thing you need to do is that you must like I said, to encourage team spirit in the work environment among your teams, you must ensure that there are effective collaborations. In fact, the word has moved from just competition to collaboration. You see people coming together, firms partnering on a particular project. How much more within an organization? Now, and the truth is, I cannot collaborate effectively with the next person in a particular team if I do not know you well. So you need to understand your team members. Now, how well do your team members even know themselves? I recall once I was working on team bonding an organization, and I said, okay, let's come together. Tell me, hey, like a lot of participants, about 20 of them. I said, okay, pick on anyone. I have to pair them up. Tell me the strength of this person. You tell me the strength of this person. Okay, and they started. We started noting them down. So I told individuals, speak to yourself. What are your strengths? What are your level of expertise? It was right there they realized somebody had all these skills, but this guy was in customer service and he never mentioned done this. Another person had communication skill set to do a whole lot that even the team member, the team lead did not even know. So how can you talk about collaborations when you do not know your team members effectively? You should know their strengths. You should even know their areas of weakness where you can help them develop. Now, we talk about personal development plan for individuals. Now, in organization, it should be win-win. You want them to perform at the peak of excellence, but the truth is you cannot give what you don't have. How well do you know them to even develop while developing that strength? How well do you know how to work while leveraging on their strengths? How well do you know them to develop that, to help them overcome those weaknesses while developing and leveraging on their strengths? How well do you know them to even help them, overcome their challenges, their weaknesses, work on those weaknesses for them? So you need to know what their strengths are. In fact, some people are multi-talented. They even have unique talent in organization. Another time I wanted to recruit, for a particular engineering company, and we're looking for a project manager that had experience, that has worked on various projects across West Africa countries. And we're looking, let's even check, let me do skills audit, talent audit. And I decided to deploy that. And I realized that what we would have been looking for everywhere, we had that skill set warehouse in somebody who never brought it to the table in the organization. And I asked him, why did you say anything? Nobody asked me. I was like that. So you cannot talk about effective collaborations if you do not know your team members. So you want the same spirit within them, please find time to, know their unique talents. You need to know their strengths so that they can collaborate. Collaboration is important. Okay, there should be a common purpose. Communication flow effective, then collaborations. Make sure that you build an environment, enabling environment where collaborations among team members are possible. Okay, another thing that you can do is that you can organize social outing. Everything doesn't have to start in the workplace, and end in the work. We're all social beings. We want to interact. So be deliberate about, creating such functions where people can interact with one another. Now, even in the world of hybrid meetings, okay, where we both have virtual and physical, what we do most times to even encourage team spirit, we say, okay, put on your videos. Yeah, you listen to my voice, but there's something it does to you when you can see the face. We make that connection. So it's always important, and you take it back to the workspace. Imagine you are meeting somebody online, no video. Now you have a social outing where you now meet the person physical, and you take it back. It just translates into the way we've met, interacted, that good feeling. You take it back to the online, community, to the online meetings. Okay, so it's important that you can organize social outings. I know that for organizations, sometimes when we want to cut costs, the first thing we want to try is to cut also social outings. Yes, but please find what works for your organization. You must ensure that it could be simple dinners, it could be picnics, it could be major events, as the case may be. Please find time for your team members to socialize. It's important. I will also say that we must find a way to appreciate and celebrate them. I will couch it this way: celebrate their small wins. Don't wait till it's so big, okay? Celebrate the art that has produced that thing, that result that looks so little, okay? When you produce that, when you celebrate the little wins, the small wins, you'll be motivated to do more, because this will foster team engagement and loyalty. So if you are a team lead, I'm speaking to you. If you are listening to me now, you are a team lead. If you are a change manager, a strategic change manager, please, these are things that you must incorporate in your plan. Your reward and consequences management policies. You must find a way to celebrate small wins, not just the big ones. Because the person who has made something that looks little, small today, would have the potential to do something bigger, depending on how you handle the small wins. I've seen that happen a lot across industries, across countries. Okay, it's really important. Now there is so much focus These days, I'm saying that no, I can go to the hospital if I'm ill. The hospital is there, but in some countries, out there work, and say that I want to go to a psychiatric home to test my mental state. Even the mere thought of that alone makes some people run away. Okay, so it's important. The physical well-being is fine, but there is a huge case around the globe right now for mental health. Mental health. You must make sure that you also have focus on supporting the mental health of your team members. It's very important. That is why even when we are recruiting these days, we talk about emotional intelligence. EI, not just the IQ, not intelligent quotient alone, but emotional intelligence is important, is the must-have skills right now in terms of recruiting managers, team leads. Okay, and the truth is, we've said over the years from webinars that we have held at Amogate, from experts that have come on board to speak to us on it, one thing that kept reiterating is that we need to be trained. We need to train members on how to handle mental health issues. You must make sure that the mental health of our team members are stable. So I can say advice that you should request for a volunteer among your team to be trained as mental health champions. I'm not saying that you're not going to refer them to the experts, but you could have someone in your team, volunteering. And that comes from people understanding that strength, that areas of, unique talent, what they like, their passion. You find someone within your team who is passionate about mental health. So that person could be the mental health champion. So it's important that you focus on supporting mental health. This is quite important. Okay, it's very important that you do this. And I'll speak to the last but not the least, very important point when it comes to ways to encourage team spirit in the work environment. You must create a culture of respect. I will take it again. Create a culture of respect. We spoke about culture on previous programs, previous series, that are talking about the way people live, perceive behavior, values of a set of people in a particular point in time. And I also say that well-lived values becomes the culture of the organization. Now, it's important that you create a culture where people feel respected and they also respect others. Well, even data has supported this. A survey that was taken in 2016 for the Society of HR Management found that respectful treatment of all employees was the number one contributor to job satisfaction. So it means that even your pay, your incentives, your juicy perks of office, all of those things was not the number one determinant of job satisfaction. And I'm sure that has not relatively changed even from the survey I did in recent times. Okay, so that is because people want to feel respected. Now, it's important that you also understand the peculiarity of a particular culture. Okay, what respect means to a German might be different from what it means to a Nigerian. Even within Nigeria, what it means to a Yoruba man will be different from what it means to an Igbo man, but rather what it means to an Hausa man. So you need to understand the peculiarity, the dynamism of culture. It's not static, it's dynamic. So you need to understand the peculiarity of the culture of a particular people. It's really important, because if it's the number one contributor to job satisfaction, you better take this seriously. You must build a culture of respect where people feel respected. So you must even understand what do people perceive to be respect in a particular climate, because it varies across climate. But there's some key pointers, to what people want. People feel respected when they know that they can be heard, when they know that you're ready to listen to them. When you can listen to them, they feel valued. Now that's why I talk about empathetic listening. One of the pointers, creating a culture of respect is that you must find a way to listen empathetically. Listening skills is something that must be developed, Now, you must also create a culture of fairness, equity, where everyone in your team feels treated fairly, Now, you must be fair, and impartial. There must be no favoritism. When people sense, that even the outer an inch of favoritism, they will not feel respected. It's important that we give equal opportunity to everyone. We must give equal opportunity to everyone. Okay? And it's also important in terms of creating that culture of respect that you appreciate individual contribution. It's important that you appreciate the efforts of individual. Yes, realize that it's teamwork, but to build that team spirit, that individuals in there that are unique, appreciate the contribution of everyone towards the team to go. Now, I'm not saying that for those that have done outstandingly well, they'll not be singled out, but some people within the team would have played other roles, that if they had dropped the ball, those that performed outstandingly well would not have been able to perform that. So it means that every individual is important in your team, okay? If we have a goal of increasing your revenue, the marketing guy that's gone out there, if he goes out there and he comes back, let's even take a typical example of the bank, and the guy in customer service, or that is going to open the account, or the central unit opening the account, or the teller, the bank teller, or someone in the fund transfer person messes the transaction up, or even someone in audit messes the transaction up, or he wants to do foreign transfer abroad, and the guy there messes the transaction up. What do you think that guy in marketing will be able to seal the deal? So it means that it's collaboration, it's collaborative effort. So why celebrating the big guy who brought that big contract, that big account to the bank? You must appreciate contribution of the cash teller, the contribution of the customer service, every member of the team that played a role. Even even the security. Everyone must be appreciated. Now, how you reward would be different, left to your discretion as an organization, which should be documented, okay, so everybody feels fair. But please, individual effort should be appreciated if you want to, foster team spirit among your team, which is one of the steps to building effective team for strategic implementation. Okay. Well, thank you so much. You have stayed to the end of this program today. It's great having the opportunity to talk to us today on this topic that I'm really interested and passionate about. Well, I would give us a quote by Michael Jordan, which I love. He says, "Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships." I'll take it again. According to Michael Jordan, talent wins games. Yeah, you win the game, but teamwork and intelligence win championships. Okay, well, it is important that from what he said, how can we nail it better? Talent win games, yes, we get the good, it's the game, but championship, the bigger picture, cannot be achieved alone. Okay, it takes everyone to achieve it. And I love the words of Vince Lombardi. He says, individual commitment to a group effort, that is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and a civilization work. Individual commitment to a group effort, that's what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and a civilization work. Those are the words of Vince Lombardi. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you have learned one or two from the episode today, kindly click the like button. And also for feedback, comment, questions, kindly send a mail to contact@thearmorgate.org. I'll take it again. For feedback, comments, questions, kindly send a mail to us at contact@thearmorgate.org. Or you can send a message or give us a call on our WhatsApp line +234 8079574151. I'll take the number again. That's our WhatsApp line. You can send us a message on +234 8079574151. We'll wrap it up here for today. Thank you. Hope that you tune in same time, same station next week. Bye.